Apple launches iOS 8.0.1 to the public, though not everything is good. The Samsung Galaxy Note 4 is already seeing amazing sales in certain parts of the world. And believe it or not, it seems that bending is the new issue for Apple's new iPhone. I'm Jaime Rivera, and I'm sure none of you are dumb enough to perform a bend test on your current phone. Right? This is Pocketnow Daily. Let's begin today with what's official, as Apple has just announced iOS 8.0.1 to the masses. It seems that the company had some fixes to do when it came to reachability, other cases like, for example, data consumption and everything. Though it does seem that not everything is perfect. Beware if you're using an iPhone 6 or iPhone 6 Plus, as it seems that users are already complaining about the fact that Touch ID does not work and it cripples other features. So let's see what Apple does about that. Now let's move the spotlight over to Samsung, as those of you wondering exactly how things went when it came to the pre-orders of the Galaxy Note 4 that started on September 19th. Turns out that they went quite well, at least in Korea. It seems that all carriers in Korea are sold out when it comes to the Galaxy Note 4. And even though we don't have any specific data when it comes to the US carriers, we do expect Samsung to finally get some traction when it comes to the Note lineup, as a lot of people seem to be very optimistic about this phone, including me. Let's see what we get. And speaking of Samsung and speaking of US carriers, it is already confirmed that US carriers, or at least the major ones, will be carrying the Gear S, that smartwatch that's also a smartphone in every single way. We don't have any specific dates as to when we are getting it, and we still don't know the price tag, but we have a confirmation that all US carriers will be picking it up. Again, this is probably one of the most innovative smartwatches yet, if you think about the fact that you can make phone calls from it, but then again, we have to test it to show you if that's really a gimmick or not. And speaking of smartwatches, let's talk about the one that's got everybody talking, the Apple Watch. We still don't know exactly when we are getting it next year, but reports claim that it seems that Apple is getting everything ready for it to launch in time for Valentine's Day, which would make a good gift indeed. It seems that Apple's probably pointing towards that, though that's also been the historical date, early February for iPad launches. And given the rumors of the iPad Pro and the iPad Mini 3, or whatever the name's going to be, being delayed, it could be that Apple's planning a full event early in February in order to launch these in mid-February in time for Valentine's Day. So we'll see how that goes. And finally, for the expected news of the day, what would an iPhone launch be without complaints from a certain sector? Antenna-gate was the case with the iPhone 4, then we had Scuffgate with the iPhone 5, and now we have Bendgate with the iPhone 6 Plus. Seems that customers are complaining that while placing their phones in their pockets, the phone naturally bends. And this is really interesting. If you look at the photos of where the phone bends, it obviously bends at the area where there is less material, which is the volume buttons. So yeah, that does make sense. You can bend the phone easily there, or pretty much any phone that's that big. But then again, if you look at these bendings, it's really hard for it to make sense for you to bend the phone that way when you're putting it in your pocket. It seems that the phones have been purposely bent, and hey, if you want to, you can do that with any phone. But that leads me to the question of the day. What do you think about these complaints? Do you think that they're real or fake? Do you think that this is just another scam like the previous ones? Though much of these haven't really been scams. We do remember the iPhone 5 coming with scuffers out of the box. And yes, I did have an iPhone 4 with antenna-gate issues, but it seems that it's the new thing every time an iPhone launches. But leave us a comment down below. What do you think? Real or fake? Friends, you know the drill. If you want to get the news earlier before this video is filmed, make sure you follow us on Pocketnow.com and subscribe to our YouTube channel as well. You can also follow me on Twitter, Jaime_Rivera. Please give this video a thumbs up if you liked what you saw. I am Jaime Rivera. Thank you very much for watching. We'll see you tomorrow.